Okay, we're live. And hopefully you can hear me. I forgot to test it. I guess I'll wait to see one of you come on and verify that for me. Got dual screens here. I'm going to try to get it to where I can see me live. It's a little delayed and a little weird to see yourself live, and then I'll start with my content. So tell me how you are today. Tell me where you are in the world. There we go. I am live. All right. So just got home from the gym, of course. Got to go to the gym every day at the same time, pretty much, almost consistently. But I do want to talk today about what is your food trigger. So for me, I would say right now is peanut butter. My body is craving that fat. And it's got the sugar and the salt. It has everything in it that we're going to kind of talk about today. So I guess I can see why I'm triggered by that. I don't know that I eat when I get stressed out. I think I'm the opposite. I think I want to not eat when I'm stressed out. Yeah, that's how it is for me. But it's almost kind of like a self-punishing sort of thing instead of I'm just going to eat this whole thing of ice cream. It's not something I think about at all. Although I do like movie theater popcorn. It's really hard to go to the movies without having that. But what is a food trigger is what I want to talk about today. So here's a quote. Why am I thinking about Krispy Kremes? We're supposed to be exercising. That was by Meg Cabot. She's got, I believe, a book called Big Boned. So I thought that was really cute and appropriate. I do like Krispy Kreme. I do like to go when they're hot, when the sign is lit up. There is one here where we moved to in Spokane, Washington. It's about a probably 20-minute drive, but we actually haven't been to it yet. Been here since August and haven't been. I've seen it several times, drove by. It's like, but I do have a show here March 30th, so I have to be really careful what I eat. So it's not on the plans for at least probably a month, but because I have another show about a month away. So actually less than a month, a couple weeks, 3 weeks maybe. I'll have to look. But yeah, Krispy Kreme is really good. So I meet people daily that are feeling less confident in themselves, not loving their bodies, not understanding where to start or how to lose weight. For the past almost 9 years now, I've been working on my own journey. And through my transformation, I've been approached by a lot of individuals asking for help. And only until recently have I been openly helping individuals. I've been doing it via a group called Power Up Basic. And if you're not in the group, please look it up. It's a lot of fun. It's a great group, some amazing people in there. I'm going to be doing some amazing life-changing transformations themselves, or there's a lot of people in there that just love fitness. So it's a great group to be in. But a lot of people that I meet and talk to have tried every fad diet and failed. So I decided that I need to help. I love to inspire. I love to help. It gives me goosebumps and just makes my day when I hear of people that have changed in one way or another. I love the small changes because those small changes end up being bigger changes, and those changes kind of ripple through life and cross over into other things. So that's what I'm passionate about. I like to make people feel better, helping them reclaim their health. A lot of individuals that come to me are battling some health issues. Quite commonly would be pre-diabetics, high blood pressure, and cholesterol issues. So I don't give medical advice, but I do find that everybody that comes to me kind of knows what they need to do. They just need some help and some guidance and some accountability. And I love to do that. I do have a lot of knowledge and tips and suggestions, and going through some training and actually about to sign up for another year, so I can serve better. So I love to help people with their help. So that's fantastic. Didn't think that's the direction I was going to go, but for whatever reason, I kept being pushed that direction. So here I am. But I like to help people make better food choices as well, and explain how those food choices are going to make a big major change in their lives. And it not only changes their lives, changes their families' lives and the people around them. But I also like to help individuals find an activity or a movement or an exercise that is fun and enjoyable as well. And probably the best part that I can do is really drilling down and finding out what motivates them to get healthy. I think we all want to be in a certain pant size. I think we all want to be a certain weight, but reality is, when I started my transformation, I thought I wanted to be 119 pounds, and I'm 134 pounds, and I love my body. So we have to start somewhere, and I always encourage to find out what those numbers are, but be aware that those things change. Our desires change, our bodies change, and yeah, we grow muscle and we look good. So what is a trigger by food? So I will have other triggers in a post in my blog. Hopefully you follow my blog. But today I'm just going to talk about the food triggers. There are other types, but again, I'll break those down in a nice post. And I just kind of want to keep this short and sweet and beautiful and kind of interactive. So if you are watching, definitely let me know if you have any questions. I don't see any questions so far. And don't forget to say hello so I know who's on. But ways to identify your trigger foods. We're going to go over that. And then we'll also talk about how to avoid these trigger foods and how to get back on track. So that's kind of what I want to cover today. That's a little outline. And back to me, do I have food triggers? Heck yeah, peanut butter is my nemesis. I have told my family when we get to the bottom of the jar, like, okay, no more peanut butter in the house. No way. Nobody buy any. Like, it's off limits. Do not do it. And it wasn't recently. I think it was a couple of years ago. We were traveling in the motorhome. Actually, I love my motorhome. We like to travel, go just get in it, go. But we were traveling and we were a ways from home, and there happened to be a Target, and we decided, because we don't have a Target where we used to live, and decided let's go into Target. And we went in, and all of us kind of split up, just kind of looking around and shopping or whatever. And when I was left alone, somehow, I don't know how, but a double jar of peanut butter, you know how they're, they package them where there's 2 in 1. That ended up in my cart. But and my family knows. They're like, Mom, and I'm like, it's okay, I won't have any. And sure enough, I would when it gets really bad, I would have just a little bit, just a spoonful, limit myself. So do I have trigger foods? Heck yeah, I do. Peanut butter is it. Peanut butter is definitely it, which is strange because when I'm off season in the wintertime, when my diet kind of shifts a little bit, I kind of go out of into a reverse diet, and then kind of go into a less restrictive diet because I don't have any shows. I won't even touch peanut butter, won't even think about it. So I'm pretty sure it's the combination of the fat and the sugar and the salt. It's just perfect. It's just gold. Hopefully I don't drool while I watch this or play this for you, but All right, so definitely say hi. Tell me where you live, what city, what state. Like, love to know where you're watching from. Also, share this video if you find the content um, interesting or find that there's some information in here that somebody else might find useful. Definitely share this video. So, a trigger can be defined as something that sets in motion a course of events. Okay, so some trigger categories. When it comes to eating, triggers, they fall into these categories. Trigger by foods, which we're going to cover today. Triggers by mental and emotional feelings. Triggers by environments or situations. There's also triggers by social, peer pressure, and behavioral triggers. I will cover just the food triggers today, again, keeping it more relevant to this page. A trigger by food is a specific food or type of food that you can never resist, that sets off a course of overeating where there's no control. Me, do you know that peanut butter is like 1 tablespoon as a serving? So terrible. Unless you climb mountains and you do a lot of running and you're super, super active, like some of our members in Power Up Basic, well then peanut butter for sure is something that you can have daily. Anyways, on a food trigger, you feel guilty after splurging. You feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have eaten all that peanut butter or that ice cream, or, you know, maybe it was 3 or 4 bowls of cereal. The guilt will set in. You might be good again for another day or two, or until another irresistible craving hits you, and then the cycle repeats. Most of us have certain trigger foods that fuel our cravings and send our diets in a total tailspin. A weakness for a certain food can open the door to an avalanche of bad eating. Typically, once you start eating a trigger food, you will continue to eat far past the point of fullness. We need to identify these trigger foods and avoid. These high-calorie foods generally contain a large amount of sugar, fat, and or salt. By design, these foods are hard to eat only a small portion of. It may be mint chocolate chip ice cream for you. Perhaps it's pizza or donuts. Could be candy, soda, maybe a latte, fried anything. Could be chocolate, could be bread, could be pasta, could be tortilla chips. Those are pretty hard to stop. Could be cheese and crackers, maybe. These things are all have salt and fat and sugar. Food scientists design such foods with the brain chemistry in mind, knowing that certain substances like sugar, fat, and salt are biologically addictive. Sugar, for instance, stimulates the brain's reward center through dopamine. As we consume foods that are high in sugar, we biologically crave more. The simplest way to determine if you are overconsuming to manage an emotion is to ask yourself, am I eating because I'm actually hungry? What's going on in my life and how am I coping with this? Am I mindlessly eating this distracted by other things? For instance, sitting at the TV, not really paying attention to what you're eating, not focusing on what it tastes like, and you're just intensely watching your show on Netflix, or yeah, that's a sign. Avoiding cravings entirely is really difficult, given that they can be brought on by stress, maybe PMS, or even thinking about eating. But there's plenty you can do to avoid getting down the slippery slope of gateway foods. Distractions. So when your craving hits, try doing maybe long division, Sudoku, or counting backwards. Go for a long walk, read a book, do anything that distracts you and takes a lot of thought and effort, and see if it goes away. Get rid of the unhealthy foods, meaning make sure they aren't even in your house, your desk, or your car. Try keeping healthy foods right where you can see them and get rid of all the ones that are hard to stop eating once you start. When going grocery shopping, stick to the grocery stores that are healthier. They have the healthier options. Stick to your grocery list and shop around the perimeter. Stay away from the bright, shiny colored boxes and bags. To get back on track, if you do fall off the rails, no biggie. Pick yourself right back up and get back on that healthy eating bandwagon again right away. No guilt, no shame needed. We all do it. We're all human. No harm done in adult indulgence. So to break the cycle, you need to ask yourself, who's in charge? Are you, or is it the food? In time, it will definitely fade. If you choose to avoid this trigger food, the cravings will become weaker in time, typically a couple of weeks. You can look for substitutes that may not be as rich or as high in sugar or salt, but an healthier option. So if fried food is the thing, maybe try an air fryer, grilling food, or baking options using the same ingredients. Keep trying different recipes. Pinterest is a great place to look. Sometimes you just gotta have some. So maybe make a small portion. Don't confuse difficulty for impossible. When you're faced with a bag of whatever it is that is your trigger food, make a small portion. Put it in a cute little bowl and don't eat from the bag. Just one bite. It can be very difficult to manage strong impulses, but you're never without control. You always have the option not to take another bite. With help and practice, I know you can do this. So moderation, forbidding a food forever may make this thing haunt you even more, kind of like me with the peanut butter. If it's a strong desire, choose to have one portion with 1 or 2 cheat meals per month. Plan out that cheat meal in advance so there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Celebrate. So when you do have a triggered food and stay within the bounds of your normal portion, you don't have to tell the world or social media, but write it down and be proud of it. This is a huge victory. All right, if you go on an 8-hour road trip, right? Typically what we do is we pack a bunch of junk food. We hit all the gas stations in between point A and point B, right? Yeah, try to pack healthy. Get some healthy snacks. Avoid going to the gas stations. I think everyone has done that road trip binge before where you have the sticky Cheeto fingers. Be prepared. Don't get hungry and tempted by the gas stations in every town that you pass or drive through. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to post them below. Call to action. So if you haven't, make sure you join our Power Up Basic group on Facebook. It's incredible. It's fun. You'll love it. There's engaging posts every day, informative posts as well. We'd love to have you. So today we covered what a trigger food is. Again, I have other trigger mechanisms I'll put in my blog post. Ways to identify your trigger foods. We also covered how to avoid your trigger foods and also how to get back on track. Let me know if I can support you. I am taking one-on-one clients, and I have left the link at the bottom of this live video. So feel free to apply for a one-on-one conversation and see if I can help you get on track. And as a final, in case no one's told you today, I personally believe in you. I'm here for you, and I'm honored to be a part of your journey. All right, guys. Hey, thank you, and I hope you have an amazing week. I know it's only Monday, but I feel like my week's off to a great start. So have a great night, guys, and talk to you again.